Beanballers highlights all summer long on IL Sports Wire.
You're from the Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Jay Peterson. He's the owner of the Peterson Insurance Group in Clinton. Jay, good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm not bad. Not bad. I'm enjoying this cool weather this week.
It's pretty nice compared to last week.
Yeah, right. Nice break from everything. Absolutely. We'll take it when we can. But I know this summer is very special to you in the agency, Jay. Big year for your company. Tell me about what's going on.
Yeah, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. My dad started the agency in 1966 at 123 South Center, and we're celebrating on August 4th at our office now at 117 West Main from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have a coffee trailer there and some refreshments, some snacks. Come meet the team and give away some prizes and have a fun day, hopefully.
There you go. Celebrating 60 years. That's huge. That's real longevity.
Really hard to believe. I've been there since 79. My dad had purchased the Clifford Jessen agency here in town. The guy had it in his house at that time and moved it to downtown Clinton there in 66. And now we operate out of 4 locations, and we've got 15 employees, and my sons are both in there. So we're a 3rd generation family owned agency, which is pretty rare anymore. There's a lot of private equity and bigger companies out there acquiring agencies, as all businesses are doing right now, it seems like. So
yeah. And for you and your family, why not turn to that route? There's probably good money in being bought out like that.
There probably is. I mean, it affects your employees and your customers. Service changes. Sometimes that happens. So our plans are to keep it going with the family ownership as we have been for 60 years, and hopefully we'll keep it going for some time to go here.
Yeah, sure. Now, are the 2 locations you talked about, are those the only locations the agency has been in?
We have, we were at South Center Street from 66 until 96, and then we bought where we're at now, 117 West Main. It was the Journal building at one time, and then dance studio was in there. We remodeled it, and at that time we had an office in Weldon too. So in 97 we combined both of those into that location.
Okay, yeah.
And my dad was trying to get ready to retire, slow down at that point, so we were trying to make things a little simpler. And then since then we made things more complicated.
How so?
Just adding agencies. I mean, we've acquired several of them. I purchased the Starkey agency, which was founded in 1930 in downtown Clinton in 2008. And then we've added locations in Maroa, Mawequa, Pana, Farmer City. So we've done what we felt we needed to do. I mean, I could see things changing in the early 2000s. The companies were wanting more business, and it was going to be hard to keep choice for our clients where you have a lot of options, because we have about 30 companies we work with. So the way to achieve that is to increase size, and then also the technology expense technology is just taking over our business, and the cost of that is something that now we can spread out over 4 or 5 locations versus 1, so it makes it a lot more feasible to do. And then we've added people. So when the boys came back, and the more people, and the more offices you have, the more business we have, the more staff we need. And so
So was expansion born out of survival in a way?
I think so. I mean, we weren't in a bad position, but I could see the way the trend was heading with the industry, that companies wanted bigger agencies to support the technology expense, to support the support that they give us. We're a little unique in the fact we're independent agents, so we just contract with these companies. They give us their pricing, and if we don't like it, we'll write with somebody else. And then we're always adding new companies as new things come out or new products come out. So the size enables you to have some options there.
And I feel like that is very unique on its own, because a lot of people probably think insurance and they think, shopping online through whatever third-party website. Whereas if you come to your agency in your office, it's, hey, we've got all these providers we can hook you up with. This is what it looks like. We'll find the best deal for you, type of thing.
Yeah, we see it all the time. People come in that have bought online, and we write for some of those companies. We represent Progressive, we represent Geico, which are two of the big ones that people buy direct on. And they'll come in, and the problem is when you're online, and if you're not an insurance knowledgeable person and you start price shopping, you're going to probably end up with some coverage that isn't what you intended to have, or not sufficient for your assets to protect you. So,
Sure.
And typically we can help them see that. And our office, we're a family face-to-face type business. We have no answering machines. If you call our office, a person picks the phone up, and if they can't help you, they'll find somebody that can. And we deal face-to-face. So
sure. Jay Peterson, owner of Peterson Insurance, our guest in studio for today. They celebrate 60 years this summer in 2026 in Clinton. You talked about the asset protection. I think for probably a lot of folks, I feel like Peterson is known for a lot of the ag side of what you do. But it's much more than that. Tell us kind of all the services and the ways you can protect folks.
We do everything from auto and home to big commercial accounts. Obviously, crop and farm has always been a big segment of our operation, and that's something we feel like we excel in. We have myself and one of our staff is the only two in this area that have the AFIS certification. We also do life insurance. We do health insurance. We do Medicare supplements. We write bonds. We pretty much there's not much we can't take care of for people.
Right. Sure. So if folks, out there, if they've signed up for coverage online, you mentioned that. I mean, it's very convenient. I'll say, I don't want to say it's efficient or it's very accessible, but it's convenient to shop online. Can they come in and say, hey, guys, we're doing this. This is our family, what we're doing. This is our situation. Can you help them modify that? Or
sure.
Yeah.
Anytime, just come in and bring what you have, and we'll be glad to review it and tell you if we have a better option for you, or sometimes we don't, or if we think there's some coverages there that you need to have higher limits or different deductibles or different things. We can go through that with you.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. You mentioned, Jay, you've been with the company since the late 70s. How has this game changed over those years?
Oh, it's changed so much. I mean, it's hard to believe I've been there this long, I guess. I never really intended to be there, but that's how it worked out. It's been good for our family, and we appreciate the support of the communities that we serve. But we started off, we had no computers. We had a typewriter, we had everything was rated with yellow notepads out of books,
sure.
And then the big thing was when we got a copy machine and we got a fax machine, that was, like the industry changing tool. And now for the last probably 20 years, we haven't had any paper files at all. We're virtually paperless. We have a management system. We have our companies are all using AI for different things. Fax machines are gone. Everything's email scan. We do have an e-fax number, but I mean, it's just the telephone system have changed, from landlines to VoIP. I mean, just
so the technology is probably the biggest change.
Technology and coverages and premiums have changed a lot too. I mean, of course, customers understand that because they're seeing the increases, but we're starting to see some relief in that too. Things are starting to come back down.
Are they? Yeah.
I'm not sure about property long term. I mean, it's not helping when Illinois has record number of tornadoes from 2026,
right?
Because the reinsurers and all companies use reinsurance. They're looking at that, and most of them are foreign, and they're saying, well, why would we write in Illinois? They have the most tornadoes, so it affects pricing and stuff, but rates are coming down finally. In the post-COVID inflation disaster that we all went through, things are starting to come back down a little bit.
Yeah. I want to revisit the expansion piece a little bit of the agency and how much that has maybe changed your trajectory as a company and how that has changed your outlook.
It does. It's helped us, and it's a little bit of a management problem at times, but we've figured it out. I mean, we've been doing it for a while now, and we centrally do all the accounting out of Clinton, but the paint office has a great team. I was down there yesterday, but I really don't have to go down there a lot. We have 3 folks there do a great job, and we moved them a week or 2 paint a couple of years ago. And then the Maroa is one of our newest ones, and we have a couple of folks there. And then the boys and I rotate around between them. Dustin kind of handles Farmer City, and Dexter been going to Maroa, and we all kind of were in Clinton a few days a week. And so it's worked out really well. They got great people and in all the locations, and we've got great company partners, and the customers that all the communities that we're in have been receptive to our way of doing business. We try to always take care of our customer first. I mean, we're not in it for, hitting goals or hitting production number. We're trying to take care of the customer. If you do that, everything else works out for itself. And we've always done that. And my dad, that's what he built the business on, was taking care of the people first. And that's kind of our tradition. I mean, a lot of people talk about service, but we try to make sure that we make it every day.
Yeah. Well, and that's been noticed. I know you've been awarded several Pekin awards and those sorts of things along the way. Fortunate. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If it's all right, let's break and we'll come back and touch on that and revisit the open house and those sorts of things coming up on. You said August 4th.
August 4th.
Yeah, very good. So come out and join the Peterson Insurance Agency as they celebrate 60 years in Clinton. Owner Jay Peterson in studio with us. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back to school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine, forward for you.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Here's Hart Media Group owner Matt Hart talking about the Hart Media Group's continued commitment to local news, sports, and agriculture.
And at the end of the day, we're going to cover your local news. We're going to be dedicated to agriculture. Ag is such a huge part of our industry. We're obviously, if you're tuning in the radio, you know that. You're going to see that in our news, but then you're also going to see that local sports coverage as well as the local news coverage as well.
Find WHOW 1520 on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok.
WHOW is Central Illinois' ag station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays, tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW AM, FM, and streamed online.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. Again, Jay Peterson is the owner of Peterson Insurance, our guest in studio today. And also, by the way, Jay, it just dawned on me, also a sponsor of our video coverage on the morning show. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
These are huge. The videos are huge hits, and we appreciate your...
I enjoy watching them myself. So
yeah, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys doing that for us, allowing us to bring the community these interviews on the daily via video nowadays. And that's been going a good partnership for a long time now. And I want to revisit something we left off the last segment talking about. You were discussing trying to take care of the customer, that being your #1 priority as an agency, and that has not gone unnoticed. You've been blessed with many awards over the years, kind of yearly recognitions almost at this point. How about that side of it, Jay?
Yeah, 2025 was another great year for our agency and our staff. We were awarded 4 awards with Pekin Insurance, 2 on property and casualty and 2 on life. We were top 10 for Indiana farmers, made the Grinnell President's Club. So had a great year with auto owners of Cincinnati. So yeah, it's just it's been really good. We're just very blessed to have, like I said before, great company partners, great staff, and the clients who support us. Yeah.
Sure. I know over the years you've given kudos to the community and just always kind of they're just continual support of your agency and coming back for business and such.
That's why when we moved, we needed more room, and we really wanted to stay in downtown Clinton because we just think that area is just so key to our community. And it's nice to see some stuff going on down there positively. And so, yeah, it'd been easy to go out to the edge of town and have something, but it was important for us to stay downtown in that downtown square area.
Sure. Absolutely. Very good. Speaking of, folks on August 4th can come to your office in downtown Clinton for an open house. Let's revisit that very quickly.
We'll be having a little celebration on Tuesday, August 4th. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have Evergreen Coffee Trader there, and we're going to have some snacks and some giveaways, and most of our staff will be there. There's a good chance to just come by and meet some of them if you haven't met them in person, or sometimes people talk to them on the phone and haven't really got to speak to them face to face. And if you're not one of our clients, come by and see what our agency is all about. I think you'd be happy with what we provide, and we work hard for you.
Sure. Very good. So put that on the calendar. That's August 4th, 60 years of business for Peterson Insurance in Clinton. That's quite a milestone, Jay. Quite a milestone.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. My dad insured his very first car in 1950 with the Offenball agency in Kinney, because our family's from Kinney area. And that agency sold to Clifford Jessen, and that's the agency my dad and mom purchased in 66. So,
okay.
Yeah. His whole life, he had all his car insurance was insured with the same agency code that we still have today.
No kidding. Yeah. That's cool. Cool, Jay. That's very good for you guys, and hope you get a good turnout for that open house on August 4th. Well, Jay, I look at the clock. I've got a few minutes yet still with you, and probably the producers in the truck and the equipment are screaming, talk about crop insurance. Tell us what's going on there. What's going on with crop insurance?
Well, we just finished booking our acres. We had some hail claims early, had a few replants, but I'd say overall the crop looks pretty good, but there is a lot of water damage out there.
Yeah.
And some of our growers talked this morning to one, talking about some aphids. And I know I went to the paint office yesterday, and I was going down 51 South Decatur, and I saw 4 spray planes in the air at once, on both sides of the road. So I think the fungicide and insecticide is getting put on pretty heavily right now.
Yeah.
But we've done that since it came out in the early 80s. It's something we enjoy doing. I think we do a good job with it, and we have staff that specializes in that. We represent there's 15 companies that sell the federal crop insurance program. I think we represent 8 of those, and our various offices. And so we have a broad range of products, and I've done it for several years.
Sure. Is replant been much of a thing this year?
We had some early. There's always a couple of days every spring that was just the wrong day to go. It's just right before a big rain or something happens, and but it wasn't one of the biggest years by any stretch of imagination. We had a few replants, but not many. And the problem is water damage. The crop got so big, it's hard for the guys to get back in there, but they need to do something with those ponds to control weeds. So
right, yeah, absolutely. How much of you talked about the tornado activity? How much has that impacted crops that you've seen?
Right around here, we've been pretty fortunate. We've dodged it. We had some down south. In the Nyannick, Illiopolis area, there was some damage from that hail and storm that went through, and Pana had a little bit of water damage early, but tornadoes can tear up crops as much as hail or anything else does. And we've had some growers starting to buy the wind coverage. It hasn't been, some areas in the state have had a lot of wind damage. We've been fortunate here. We've had some, but it hasn't been widespread, I guess.
Yeah. I want to ask you something from a comment you made earlier about rates starting to kind of go back to normal, fall back to the mean, if you will.
I don't know what normal is anymore.
I know, right? Yeah. I feel like we've been in this fog for so long, it's hard to remember what those days were like. But do you foresee that trend continuing, or are we just going to have to deal with high costs of insurance anymore?
I think auto and work comp and a few things, we're seeing some pretty good reductions in. Property is going to be a problem going forward. I mean,
why is that?
I know consumers don't feel like it, but for years, homeowners and property rates were probably under what they needed to be, but competition and investment income made up for that. So, but then, especially coming out of COVID, when building costs and roof costs like tripled basically overnight, and companies had these claims hit, then there wasn't the reserves to pay these. Well, then when companies' reserves get low, they're concerned about their ratings. So that's what that was all about.
I see.
I think I've seen it for 40 years now. It goes up and down all the time. So we're going to see probably, I think, the next few years, a little softer market, what we call it, which would be a lower price market than what we've accustomed to the last few years. And something will happen down the road here that'll change it again. I don't know when that's going to be or what it's going to be because of that. But I think it's always gone in peaks and valleys, and we're coming into a valley now, I feel like. So.
Sure. Well, to wrap us up, Jay, one more time, highlight your August 4th open house to celebrate 60 years.
Yep. Tuesday, August 4th, 117 West Main from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come by and see us. We'll be glad to meet you.
Congratulations on the milestone,
Thank
Jay.
you very much.
Always good to have you in studio. Jay Peterson owns Peterson.
Thanks everybody in Clinton.
Yes,
Clinton
very
area,
good.
yeah.
Very good. Well said. Jay Peterson, owner of Peterson Insurance, our guest in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by the aforementioned Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news on the way now.
WHOW.